Hello and welcome to this presentation on the era of disruptive innovation 2020 to 2100 through the lens of technology-enabled education. In this presentation, we will look through some very important factors responsible for the changes we are experiencing across the world today. And it will bring us up to speed on the present and the future of the whole mankind. Global disruption. As we know, the global disruption has impacted all major sectors in the world, especially energy, automobiles, banking, manufacturing and infrastructure, supply chain, life sciences, and education. This is where we need innovation to help us survive this change. The phenomena of disruptive innovation. The term disruptive innovation was defined and analyzed by Clayton Christensen in 1995. And in the early 2000s, significant societal impact has also been used as an aspect of disruptive innovation. When we look at the disruption from the perspective of paradigm shifts and world infrastructure and development projects, we get an absolutely clear picture about where we are headed today. Everything that we see, do, feel, and live for is transforming into an absolutely unimaginable form and shape at a speed which we cannot fathom. Demographic reality. Before we get into disruptive matters, let us take a quick look at the changes world is undergoing in terms of demographics. The United Nations says that we'll have 10.5 billion people on the planet by 2100. Japan's population declined by about 1.25 million last year because only about 1.25 million people died, and just 1 million babies were born. They're just not producing enough babies. The population of 126 million Japanese could come down to even 67 million by 2100. China's population has peaked, but it may come down much faster than ever. China's working population at 850 million is coming down at 2% per year, and China may grow older before it becomes richer. Whereas India's population is predicted to touch 1.6 billion by 2050, wherein the average age will be 27 years, making it younger before richer. And in the United States, whites are going to become a minority by 2050, with the Hispanics becoming the majority. Even in Mexico, the population is declining. So all around the world, the population decline is unbelievably fast, and the population is aging. This is the demographic reality. In the next 15 to 20 years, we are going to see a lot of tension coming up with global migration. Population of Russia, Scandinavia, and Europe is at a decline and is aging rapidly. Even in Mexico, the population is declining. Germany's median age is 41 years today. Africa is going at a 2.5 fertility rate, and the Middle East is at 3.5. Disruption in energy. Exiting the fossil fuel era. If we speak about energy for a moment, we know that it is the ruling segment which determines the power dynamics of the world. Ever since the invention of the internal combustion engine, oil has been one of the most crucial commodities on the earth. Without it, modern transportation as we know it would not be possible. Industries such as aviation, aerospace, automobiles, shipping, and the military would look nothing like they do today. As per the reports, oil production per year is 34 billion barrels, and oil market size at current prices is $1.7 trillion per year. Today, with the decline of the oil market due to geopolitics and fracking technology, the oil industry has come down drastically to $4 trillion globally. Out of the 90 million barrels of oil, 80% is primarily used or consumed by automotives, and this will come to an extinction when in the next 10 years from now, these 80% of the automobiles will run on batteries and other kinds of renewable energies. And if we have to survive the terrific global warming issue, in line with the directives of the United Nations, we must stop using fossil fuel. Hence, arrest the carbon emissions by 2020 at least. If we have to save the 2 billion, the almost 1/3 of the world population in the world from dying, which is an accepted truth by over 97% of the world's scientists as pointed out by Elon Musk in Paris Summit recently, This is why many countries have even started banning the oil consumption. Clearly, energy intensity of economic growth is coming down, and this disruption in the power dynamics has created a dominoes effect on every other sector as they're all interdependent and connected. So the question now is fossil fuel industry really apt for any more future investments? Disruption in automobiles. Enter the era of automated transportation. Automobile industry, the largest employer in the world which engages more than 1.5 billion people, mainly depended on oil. But with oil being shut out and alternative energy gaining popularity day by day, we will now be using unmanned air vehicles, battery-run cars, hydrogen cars, hyperloops, thorium cars, and various kinds of drones, even electric planes, and the latest tunnel technology. Which means 1.5 billion people will be losing their jobs sooner than automation can even catch up. The latest technology capable of printing anything instantly in 3D can take this whole innovation onto another level. Dubai has indeed taken the lead by implementing the latest trend in automobiles right at the beginning itself. With the air taxis, tunnels, hyperloops, and drones, will we even need the conventional roads and railways anymore? Disruption in banking. The dominion of blockchain. The next factor in the Millennial Disruption Index is banking, thanks to blockchain technology. The technology that revolutionizes the financial services industry by empowering millions across the globe by making authentication and transactions absolutely possible immediately, and that too without any costly intermediaries. This brings into picture cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer transactions, and various kinds of digital payments, replacing the brick-and-mortar banking houses and problems due to currency fluctuations. So the various kinds of cards that we were so addicted to will now soon become history. Disruption in authentication. Blockchain is also called the next generation internet technology, further empowering this process. Gone are the days when you had to input PIN numbers, usernames, and passwords, because all you need now is just your fingerprint or even the retina to authenticate and log in into the emails and even bank accounts using the apps in our smartphones and tabs these days. Disruption in manufacturing. The era of complete automation and 3D printing. In a journey to reduce cost and increase efficiency, we have traveled from muscle powers to a blended model of muscle power and machines, and now, with ultimate disruption in manufacturing, we have entered the era of fully automated robotic manufacturing, which has replaced humans forever. In case of Tesla cars, for example, we have now robots which are capable of creating and teaching more and more robots without human interventions. Disruption in supply chain. Embracing platformization. There used to be an era in history when consumers suffered the most as they were the ones to pay the huge cost due to a long process of expensive supply chain. But digital technology and e-commerce coming together gave birth to platformization, and as a result, the consumer gets to avail any kind of product or service at a very low cost with just a click of the button. With reduced costs due to the robotic manufacturing and also reduced expenses by disrupting the supply chain, we have exited the retail mall culture and entered platformization, a world ruled by Google, Amazon, Alibaba, Uber, Souk, Flipkart, Snapdeal, and many more. Even though this benefits the end user, the supply chain disruption has also brought down the global economy in a way, with effects such as loss of jobs due to automation, low returns to the investors and manufacturers involved in that ecosystem. The bubble of prosperity has just burst. Disruption in life sciences, or let's say digital healing. Gone are the days when we lived till the age of late 60s, because experts believe that children born today will live up to the age of more than 100 years. This is made possible by innovation in the field of life sciences such as DNA-based nanomedicines, custom-designed drugs, robotic surgeries, stem cell research, 3D organ printing, genetic re-engineering, and beyond. With IBM Watson coming into the picture, even cancer cure is now becoming more and more efficient. In fact, now the research has gone beyond human imagination, making machines become able to proactively let us know about the health-related threats instead of diagnosing after we are affected and fall sick. This is what we can actually call digital healing. Indeed, an unimaginable disruption in life sciences. Disruption in education. Target and process redefined. The basis of education is what to teach, who to teach, and how to teach. This is where disruption has occurred. Experts say that by 2030, students will be learning from robot teachers 10 times faster than today. And in consolidation, when we look at the World Bank Development Report, the aftermath of global disruption is that over 5 billion people will lose their jobs in the days to come. That's over 80% of the world population becoming jobless. This is worse than global warming. Disruptive capital, the big question. What has become abundantly clear is that none of the industries mentioned till now is worth being invested in, and no one is actually investing in these anyways. The piled up $14 trillion around the world is now being even called disruptive capital. So who is responsible to mobilize this capital? Where should this be invested? We're moving from oil economy to data economy, changing the power dynamics. Have you ever thought, what does Gmail, Facebook, WhatsApp, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, or YouTube give us really? An online identity, for which in return they do take something. They take our behavioral data and they sell it to every possible vendor out there so that they can push onto us deals based on our likes and wants and interests and desires. Because now they know us more than we know ourselves. And this, combined with AI technology and big data analytics, makes it possible for them to even mimic us. This is how technology acquires human intelligence and creativity. This is data economy. The big data economy, the power of unlimited yottabytes generated across the globe, the most powerful natural resource of the future, which is going to rule and control the whole world.